your feet, let's build a dream. From the waves and the stars and the sunbeam gleam. 1,000 hands, 1,000 arms. We'll bring back the ocean like it was before. History whispers, can you hear it shout? The winds are alive and it's calling out. 500 sails on the open blue, riding the tides like the ancients do. 500 sails with a story to tell of courage and heart where the oceans swell. He laughed loud, said, "Count me in. Let's chart the course where the waves begin. The prows dance where the sea meets sky. The spirit lives, it will never die. The horizon stretches like a drawn-out dream, and the past comes alive in the sunlight's gleam. 500 sails on the open blue, riding the tides like the ancients do. 500 sails with a story to tell of courage and heart where the oceans swell.
This is a Fox News alert. Another service member has died in the war with Iran. I'm Carmen Roberts. U.S. Central Command says a 7th U.S. service member has died. That member passed away last night from injuries received during an Iranian on Saudi Arabia on March 1st, which was the second day of the war. And as the war pushes into a second week, Israel is switching targets and focusing on Iran's fuel depots and other energy infrastructure. Fox's Lucas Tomlinson has more from Dubai.
Jets targeted Iran's oil infrastructure and knocked out some refineries outside of the capital city of Tehran. That black smoke still visible and fires burning during the daytime. Now, one of the reasons the Israelis were able to do this is the U.S. military has supplied about 100 aerial refueling planes. That's twice the number used during Operation Midnight Hammer, which keeps Israeli and American jets flying. In fact, some of them are refueling pretty brazenly over the Persian Gulf with their transponders on.
The strikes come just hours after President Trump warned Iran it would be hit very hard. Iran, though, not backing down. And President Trump spoke with UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer today amid strained relations caused by the war. Republican Congressman Buddy Carter of Georgia tells Fox News that he's disappointed in Britain, which is just now considering deploying an aircraft carrier to the region.
I think the president is exactly right. We needed them a couple of weeks ago, and now they want to come in when it's been stabilized.
UK initially blocked the U.S. from using its bases in the war with Iran, but later gave permission for defensive purposes. And Prime Minister Starmer is defending his actions, saying that he was focused on protecting the lives of British citizens. And police in Norway say an explosion at the U.S. Embassy in Oslo may have been terrorism. America's listening to Fox News.
This is Ainsley Earhart. Thank you for joining me for the 52-episode podcast series, The Life of Jesus.
A listening experience that will provide hope, comfort, and understanding of the greatest story ever told. Listen and follow now at foxnewspodcasts.com or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Repeating our top story, U.S. Central Command says a 7th U.S. service member has died in the war against Iran. That person died of injuries sustained in an Iranian attack on Saudi Arabia on March 1st. Well, it started out as a common student prank, but it took the life of a high school teacher in Georgia.
It began when 5 students decided to hang toilet paper from the trees at the home of a teacher. That wouldn't sound dangerous, but things went wrong. Teacher Jason Hughes went out to investigate, and the students tried to take off in a truck. TV station WXIA quotes sheriff's deputies as saying the teacher tripped and fell into the path of the truck, which ran him over. Authorities charged the 18-year-old driver with first-degree vehicular homicide and the other students with misdemeanors. A memorial now sits outside Hughes' school. Roger Stern, Fox News.
Residents in Michigan and Oklahoma are in the midst of recovering from a series of tornadoes that struck Thursday and Friday, killing at least 8 people. Fox Weather's Haley Myers in Union City, Michigan.
This was the earliest an EF3 has ever been reported in the state, earliest in terms of calendar year, with a tornado hitting on March 6th. Residents captured plenty of video of this tornado as it happened in the peak of the afternoon, just tearing up entire neighborhoods as it went through, sending debris flying thousands of feet into the air. Now, at this point, they know where everybody is, but the unfortunate part of the story is we're just now getting into the heart of severe weather season, and this same area is under a level 1 out of 5 threat for severe storms on Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday evening.
And the Obama Foundation announces the official opening of the Obama Presidential Center in Chicago will happen this year during Juneteenth weekend. That'll be June 18th to June 21st, and it'll be slated for 19-acre campus activities. I'm Carmen Roberts. This is Fox News.
If you see something, say something. And stay anonymous. Call Crime Stoppers at 234-7272 or submit a tip online at NMICrimestoppers.com. No names, no caller ID, no recordings, just your info. And if your tip leads to an arrest, you could earn up to $1,000 in cash. Your tips have helped take hundreds of criminals off the streets in the NMI. It works because of you. Crime Stoppers, we want your information, not your name. PHI is your local pharmacy serving customers in Cagman, Garapan, and Dandan since 1996. Shop PHI Pharmacy for all your prescriptions, and we even offer a large line of multivitamin supplements. Our Dandan location is open weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 4 on weekends. Or visit our Garapan and Cagman locations weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 1 on Saturdays. Check us out online at phipharmacy.com or follow us on Facebook. PHI is a locally owned independent community Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
As the day unfolds with laughter and cheer, Brad's got the magic that brings us all near. Sharing tales of hope, dreams that shine bright. Good morning, Marianas, together we ignite. So join the palm trees, we dance through the days. Rhythm and soul in so many ways. Together we rise through the moments we share. Good morning, Marianas, feel the love everywhere. Wake up to the sunshine in the morning light. raise your voices high. Let the music play on. Good morning, Marianas. We're where you belong.
Nina's Kitchen, so delicious. I need a burger and a soda with it. It tastes so great, got me so addicted. Let's hop in the car, gotta go and get it. Nina's Kitchen, so delicious. I need a burger and a soda with it. It tastes so great, got me so addicted. Let's hop in the car, gotta go and get it.
Good morning, Marianas. It is Monday morning, 7:45, and we are alive. I had to make that one slow and rising to get you ready because I know a lot of you guys are trying to ease in to this Monday back at the office. Not you guys at PSS, though. It is easier on the roads this morning because kids are not going to school because PSS is NO there today. It is their time off to enjoy a little bit of some of that amazing austerity Monday magic that everybody talks about in Hollywood and wondering how can we capture a little piece of it here in Saipan. Well, we've got it. And that's what is going on today. And I'll tell you what, if you are part of that austerity stuff, I know, at least you got to find some of the silver linings to that cloud. It's not awesome. It does kind of suck. The money thing, it's not cool. And it throws you off of that great schedule. You could talk about the kids, the students, all that other stuff. But here's the thing. The main thing is that, hey, we're going to get through this austerity thing eventually. We're going to figure all this stuff out. In the meantime, take a look at what you can do at this time. And whether maybe it's catching up on work. Maybe it's catching up on planning. Maybe it is just going out and just enjoying a little you time, or maybe a little family time. Maybe you're a teacher or a staffer and you've got kids who go to school in PSS also. You got a little extra time with them. That's my away time from them. Okay, I know. But maybe you get an umbrella, take a stroll down Beach Road together and enjoy it because it's not going to be burning hot today. Yeah, I know it's going to be sloppy and rainy, but think about the things that you can do today and think the connections that you can make with the people in your community, the people in your family, your friends, and all that. And, maybe that'll help you get through it a little bit better, or, hey, maybe you went out and hung out a little bit too much yesterday. Now you don't have to worry about going into school, and that is your silver lining. I'm here for that too. All right. Well, good morning, everybody. It is Monday, 7:48 here in the AM, and we are just getting started here at the Good Morning Marianas headquarters here. Got a whole bunch of you guys out there. There's Mike saying, hey, buenos dias, Brad. Para todos, Marianas, all the way out there from the mainland. Thank you so much for joining us and popping in there again with us today. Toba Castro, man, this guy is the tip man from Dan Dan. You could tell his handiwork. He puts them on the moon just a couple nights ago, and everyone thought it was an eclipse. No, it was Toba Castro from Dan Dan putting it up there. Great stuff, by the way. Joshua Santos in the house says, good morning, drive safely, Marianas. We're going to be going to the roads here in just a second, too. Angoshaman Capileo, great to see you. Good morning, Marianas. Prayers to Michigan and our soldiers in the Middle East. Ungan. Eldon De La Cruz says, good morning, Brad and CNMI. And Caleb's like, good morning, Marianas. Yes, he gave the long one today, too. We're talking about the opening and saying good morning to everybody. By the way, you mentioned about the prayers to Michigan and our soldiers in the Middle East. Well, today we've got a salute to the heroes with our friends over there at the Surfrider Resort and Hotel. It's the Salute to Heroes. You can reconnect and relax with our exclusive military package. Create unforgettable moments together with your family. Book your well-deserved getaway today. Book at Surfrider Resort and Hotel today. Give a call at 670-235-7873, or you can send them an email at reservations@saipansurfriderhotel.com. There you go, folks. Well, I'll tell you what. Speaking of going, you're not going to be able to go anywhere if you're not on the main roads and trying to drive around in a smart way. And we want you to be driving around in a smart way and getting everywhere safe, too, while you're out there. I mean, that's probably your most important thing that we got to do with you guys out there today. So drive safe out there. There's no hurry that you need to be in that'll get you somewhere unsafe. So let's get down to the roads and take a look right now. Again, the roads are wet. It is rainy out there, and you got to get out there and you got to get there safe. So let's take a real quick look at traffic here in Saipan. We're going to take a hot air balloon and fly all the way back and take a look. You can see there's a couple of big hot spots and the usual places. But one of the places that we're not used to seeing it is over there on the way down Issa Drive, going past the Gigi. A whole lot of slowness over there. I don't know what's going on. I hope everybody's okay. Yesterday we also heard about somebody whose car went in a ditch over there by Santa Soledad. We're hoping everybody's okay over there and that the minimal damage to the car. And just a reminder, you do have to go inside the church if you want to get baptized. All right, all the way down here by the Issa Drive, you can see everything's looking pretty good. Just a little bit of traffic backing up over there at the intersection. Things looking good through Puerto Rico. But once you get by the tennis courts / pickleball courts, that's when it all goes downhill. Except for when you're playing on the courts, then it's all great. But as you're making your way through Garapan and trying to make your way south, it is going to be slow and congested. Not a lot of bobbing and weaving through there. So take your time. And remember, there's no school for PSS stuff today. So there's going to be the road should be a little bit better. Anyway, making your way through Middle Road looks pretty good too. A little bit of traffic over there by people stopping by the Bostonian Bakery. The bakery approved by Ed Probst because I saw his post. Can we make a petition and ask Ed, say, hey, what do you think about going from Ed Probst to Ed Post? Because you post all the time, all kinds of good stuff. And Bostonian Bakery was one of those that I saw lately. All right, here we go. Traffic over there by the intersection that matters at the place where connections matter. IT&E, things looking pretty good. You can see it's backing up over there by Waterloo as people start to gather by the Mobile and Chalanquiza. And it looks like a little bit of traffic over there by the old AK intersection right down the street from us. Everything else looks pretty good on your way south. And a lot of that's because there's no schools. You got some traffic over there at Guangdong Hardware. People trying to get in there and get their nails on sales. All right, what else is going on all the way around the island? It looks mighty fine. Let's get past, the shopping district. That's right. The Rodeo Drive of Saipan getting some traffic. The Merienda capital of the Marianas. Over there, you've got Capitol Hill Market, Sarah Market, Zenu Market. You got 3 markets so close together, it's like you are in downtown Beverly Hills. Only on the hill. Capitol Hill. There you go. It reminds me of Sean Christian telling me when we were in Tinian, he's pointing at the 3 or 4 stores that are over there. He's like, we don't have the mall, but if you shop at that one, and that one, you could tell everybody you shopped at them all. Oh, he is so smart. That guy is great. All right, well, that's your first look at traffic here in the Marianas. Brought to you by the good folks over at AK Toyota, home of your favorite salespeople and great cars. They've got great vehicles. Down payment are low and down payment assistance is high. How about that? And they've got all kinds of great vehicles that can get you powered. In fact, they just unveiled the new Toyota RAV4 that's a hybrid, and that is pretty sweet. And that's not bad. Oh my gosh. You know who else is over there? Mike. Mike says, hey, Brad, I'm here in Saipan. I'm an island boy, not America. Sorry, man. Mike, dispensetsu. I'm so glad that you are here in Saipan joining us today. I just thought you were all the way out there, but now you're all the way out there, but all the way right here. I like it. All right. Well, anyway, AK Toyota can get you in that car, Mike, all the way, whether you're in San Antonio or Asthma Twist, you could be looking fine in style with your new Tacoma, your new Tundra, your new RAV4, your Camry, your Corolla Cross, and you can get it over there. Give them a call if you want to get some information. Maybe you want to see that new RAV4 they got. 234-5911, 234-5911, and have some fun. All right, well, we've got our local headlines that we got to get to, so we're going to have that and more right after this.
Hey, bro, can I grab your bush?
Yeah, man, go for it.
Right on. Thanks, bro. Hey, bro, can I grab your bush too?
Sure, bro. Go ahead.
Thanks.
Now I can grab my own bush. Saipan, it's time to grab your Bush. Pick up a 12-pack of ice-cold Bush, and you're in for more than just a refreshing beer. Every 12-pack gives you a chance to win exclusive Bush gear and more. So don't wait. Swing by your favorite store, grab your Bush, and join the fun. Because here in Saipan, the best moments are even better with Bush. Grab your Bush today.
If you think girls and women's equality matter, stand up. If girls and women's sports matter, and you want your daughters to have the same opportunity you had, stand up. If you know that it isn't fair or safe to allow males to compete in girls' sports, because it's, well, obvious, stand up. Don't be cowed by people who call you a bigot. You're not a bigot. Don't let men tell us how to be good girls. Don't let others tell you you just need to be quiet. Sit down. Be nice. It's not nice to further a lie. It's not mean to believe in women's equality. We deserve our own sports, privacy, fairness, safety. We deserve a chance to compete and win. So don't be nice. Don't be careful. Be honest. Be brave. Fight for women. We've come too far to give up now.
And if you agree with that, stand up and stand with us.
Shiny smiles all around, where happiness is found. It's the little things that make it true. Shiny smiles start with
And by sunrise, she's marching with a sign in the air. Hashtags flying everywhere. Paint on her jacket, fire in her eyes. Truth gets louder when the camera's live. She says she's saving the world in 4K live. Different stage when it's neon nights. By day she's preaching revolution plans. By night she's paying bills with OnlyFans. Cape in the closet, heels in her hand. Fighting the system and the algorithm. Having only friends ain't part of the plan. She funds the movement with OnlyFans. Glitter on boots, spotlight glow. Crowd goes wild at the midnight show. Clock strikes 12, persona flips. Justice and drama from painted lips. Megaphone power, chant so bold. Truth gets flexible when the story's sold. By day she's chanting through city halls. By night she's working behind paywalls. Hero or villain, depends who stands. She's got subscribers, not just fans. Saving the world one live stream scan. Fun in the fight with
All right, Marianas, welcome back. It is 7:59 in the morning here on Monday, March 9th, 2026, and we are having a great time. And we are going to start talking about time and how much it's going to cost you and how long it's going to take to get some of this done. The services and the fees for those services have been released by the good folks over at the Department of Public Safety, letting us know that not free no mo for us to get some of these services done from them. And it's bringing up a little bit of a ruckus for a lot of folks as we get into it. And let's talk about some of those fees and what those breakdowns are going to be, because it certainly didn't seem like it was going to be a lot of fun. I don't love it. You don't love it. Nobody loves it. But hey, DPS saying, hey, look, it's going to cost some money to get some stuff done in this world. What team are you on? Are you on team we're paying for this or not? Because we need to get this done. Well, excuse me. Turns out, I guess we need to be on team paying for this somehow, because there's a whole lot of this not being paid for, and they're having some funding issues over there. So here's the deal. Let's look at this. So this is what came out, and they started being implemented yesterday. So if you gotten some issues, that's a tough one. So here we go. What are these fees going to be? It's still free to call 911, so that's good. Shoreline security protection of a vessel or a ship. So maybe that's like a police escort, $65 per hour per officer. Shoreline protection of a vessel or ship with DPS patrol boat is $1,500 for the whole day. So I don't know. Maybe that first one is jet skis and this one is with the boat. So there you go. Towing of privately owned boats. So if you have a boating issue, something happens, they got to tow you in from DPS. That's going to be $300. Search and rescue operations performed after the first 72 hours, $300. That's going to raise some eyebrows. Funeral escort, $200. The service of process, like your process servers who go out and say, hey, are you Juan Diaz? Yep, here you go. You've been served. $200. Special events and or activities requesting officer assistance or presence, including crossing guard services, traffic control, ground security, and traffic escort for processions, $65 per hour per officer. The use of department traffic equipment for private and or special events, $5 per day. That doesn't seem too bad. I'm guessing those are cones, but that could be $5 a cone. Well, what is the use of department traffic equipment? What could that be? I don't know. Marine events permit. A permit for marine events. I'm interested what permit you need, but that's $200. Permit for a marine event. What is that like a fishing derby? We're going to have to call them and get more info from Fred Sato, the PIO over there. Because that is a big thing. I do like some of the other things that they have in available. Like it's just a good service that we end up having with these guys anyway. When you do go off island or something, excuse me, where, excuse me, my gosh. Where you're able to like, hey, you're going off island. You don't want to leave your weapons like unsecured at your house or just in a safe at your house. You're able to bring them over to DPS. Well, now they're going to charge you for that. $50 a week. Basic weapon handling and marksmanship class. This is when you're going to get a weapon and you need to get that safety class. Now it's going to be $100 per day. The escort of a commercial motor vehicle, one way. So like if you've got like an oversized load coming through and you need a police escort or you're requesting one, it's $200 per escort. The permit cost for a commercial motor vehicle is now $150. And that here they break down 6 feet high in length from the frontmost position of the vehicle. It's 6 feet high in length to the rear. That's like that's bigger than a float. 2 feet width from either side of the vehicle. So they're just giving like, hey, that's how big it can be. Out of service commercial motor vehicle, one way. What does that mean? Any commercial motor vehicle that becomes out of service on a runway, obstructing traffic or posing a hazard to motorists and pedestrians, will be subject to the above fee. Refusal to pay the required fee may result in a vehicle being impounded until all fees are paid. And you know what happens if you're impounded? Then you got to pay like a daily impound fee. Yikes. It says these fees are intended to ensure that the department resources remain readily available to respond to emergencies and carry out its primary law enforcement responsibilities while still allowing the department to provide certain optional services to the community when requested. And all requests can be made at the commissioner's office, and they give the number there. You know, let me read that sentence again. These fees are intended to ensure that department resources remain readily available to respond to emergencies and carry out primary law enforcement responsibilities while still allowing the department to provide certain optional services to the community when requested. You know, maybe it's a little awkward because it makes it sound like, hey, we're trying to keep you from wanting us instead of using us all the time. I don't know. I think some of the tough ones are going to be the procession. So basically, that's going to be like for the church stuff. The funeral escort. Ooh, you know, how many officers do they end up doing for that? By the way, that can't be an easy thing for them to do all the time. It's got to be a lot of work to try to manage all of that stuff all of the time. So I can't give them a hard time about that at all. I mean, they're just trying to do what they can to get stuff done and give you as much services as possible. But I mean, yikes. Your funerals just got a lot more expensive. Unless you just say, screw it, we don't need the police escort. We're just going to do it. Convoy. I can already hear DPS saying, yeah, Brad, nope. Let's see. I know. All right. I know. I saw the comments. I have been reading your comments about this story ever since this stuff came out. And you guys are not particularly happy about it. And I don't blame you. I understand. Especially the folks who say, hey, aren't we paying to fund this kind of stuff in the first place? Yes. But look, they need to try to recover some of their costs too. Because you know already DPS is underfunded. But this is what I don't like. Service calls. Okay, so alarm deactivation is $80. So if your business alarm is going off or something and you're calling, that's going to cost you $80. Okay, that's a tough one. Squatters, I don't think you should be paying for squatters. That's law enforcement. That is straight up law enforcement. If someone's squatting on your property and you want to get rid of them, you call the police because they're breaking the law. I don't think there should be a fee for that. The other stuff, I can build a case for it. But, whoa, that's a tough one. Unless you just want people, hey, you want people to start taking the law into their own hands. I know that's not what they want. But you want people to go out there with bats. I'm not talking Fanahi. and tell those squatters, hey, I don't know if you're big on baseball, but strike three. Hey, I'm just saying, that's going to save you $80. You better spend that $80 on a shovel. Oh, yeah, there we are. We're just promoting just rampant violence and abuse. That is not at all what we're doing. But, man, that's a tough one. But I can get it. I mean, if you're calling somebody, hey, if there's I said, that's the other thing. So, like, unless they're turning off your alarm, like, do the police actually deactivate your alarm, or is that something you do as a shop owner? But if your alarm's going off at your store, that would mean someone that broke in. And if somebody's reporting a crime and they're responding to that, I don't know. I guess I don't have enough info in here, and I want to give them at some level the benefit of the doubt on it, because I know that they're not trying to stick it to us, right? They're not. That's not what their their point is on this. They're looking for ways to help fund their operation. And that's pretty sad. It's going to end up falling on regular folks as opposed to the folks who should be funding them to do all this stuff. And you know who this falls on? The people who haven't changed the spending habits across the government. The people who still driving those government vehicles after the workday, taking them home. The people who still enjoying their company cars, not company, agency vehicles. So they don't have to pay gas and maintenance on the vehicles. You should pull all those because nobody needs them except for the people who are on call. That's it. The people who are on call. You can have like an emergency person, right? Like if there's somebody who's not scheduled to work that day, but they're on call for like CUC power, yeah, let them take the truck home if they're going to have to bring it in. Why? Easy. Because then they're going to have to go all the way down to go pick up the truck and then go all the way back to the reporting place. They could go straight there. It's not like they're hanging out at Godfather's, chilling in the back of the power truck. Let's see how high this bucket can go. Woo! No, they're out there. They're just trying to. That's an essential service thing. I get it. That's cool. An emergency service at that. But if you're like the on-call, yeah, I can't come up with all the specifics. But it's like anyone who's got an agency vehicle, like, yeah, it's one of the perks of the. No. Because across the government, nobody wants to do it first. That's why, one of the reasons why we don't have enough funding for this. And that's too bad. That is 100% the truth, though. We're not able to fund the things that we need to fund because of some of these luxuries. We're still spending like we don't have an issue. That's a tough one. Anyway, stay on this one. Okay, I got you. Can do. Oh, man, I bet. Hold on. Let me get over there and see you guys on the mobile side because I'm not seeing your comments, and I know why. Oh, geez. Let me turn that down. Pew. Yeah, I'm missing you guys over here. So let me pop over here. I know it says, if I'm drowning, please don't call. I don't want anyone to saccarize their wallet to save me. I think we should all call Crime Stoppers instead of reporting the robbery. There you go. That is the solution that works for everyone. Okay, hey, by the way, now I see all you guys in the comments. For some reason, over here, I'm not seeing it come up. So let me play catch up with you guys. Yeah, PJ Victoria, half a day, Marianas. Great to see you. Caleb says, is DPS operating like CUC and CHCC under whose authority? It's not a semi-autonomous. Like that is a straight up under the executive branch. So that's under the governor's office. PJ says, who's the author of that law? I can look it up, but if you have it right now, that'll be awesome. It's not a law. This is just a fee schedule that was set from the Department of Public Safety under Public Law 14-77. So it says Department of Public Safety. We can open that up right now. Public Law 1477. Let's do some magic while we're over here. Not magic, Mike. Don't get all crazy. CNMI, Public Law 1477. By the way, say what you want. People who make complaints about us not being awesome out here in the Marianas, they can eat a whole bag of sausages because you can get all the laws right online. You can look them up. So, PJ, this is it. To empower the CNMI Department of Public Safety to promulgate rules and regulations to enhance safety in the CNMI. So this is it. Oh, geez. Nice. Hold on. Sorry. There we go. And so the legislature finds that the Department of Public Safety currently provides services that are either outside the scope of their duties, non-essential, or an abuse of public safety services by the public. An abuse. Such activities diverts public safety officers' time and expertise in order to accommodate these situations, which takes away from essential services such as responding to emergencies, patrolling the streets, and investigating pending crimes. Therefore, it's the intent of this act to set a fee schedule for activities that hinder or prevent them from being able to do all that stuff. So here we go. Basically, it just says they can figure this out. The Public Safety Enhancement Act of 2005, activities enhancing and improving services to the residents of the CNMI shall be identified according to the following criteria. A, non-essential services provided by DPS that are currently performed free of charge. B, law enforcement activities wherein the services of the Department of Public Safety is abused. C, services provided by DPS to private companies and organizations to effectuate the private companies and organizations' objectives. And D, other activities deemed necessary and appropriate which currently hamper the effective operations of DPS. Then they talk about the rules and the expenditure. And I think this is the big part. Expenditure authority. The expenditure authority for revenues generated shall be the commissioner of DPS. So whatever money they get from this goes right to DPS. It doesn't get funneled back into the general fund. Commissioner may not utilize these funds for purposes of travel or payment of recurring bills such as telephone or cell phone. The funds may only be used for this: to purchase, service, and maintenance of equipment and supplies, and training of personnel. All revenues generated may be used without further appropriation. So this is a big deal for DPS because it gives them some funds, and it gives them, and they have written right into the law the ability to use it the way they want to. Juan Nandan says, to be honest, this is a slow island, so those services make sense for the public good. Oh, I'm with you. Erwin Flores says, hey, brother, so you're saying you're not Senator Zuzu? Okay, wait, that I'm missing that one. That's got to be to someone else. Chloe says, DPS are abusing people. It's not safety anymore. Lawbreakers. Who else do we got in here? Subligson08 says, Panak. Also, one new comment. Who's that? Juan Nandan says, this is the kind of mentality that started the decline of our government and economy. Kaz Lazama says, so why do we pay taxes? Yeah, I'm with you. But so here's the thing. DPS is saying that they're having a heck of a time trying to pay for all this stuff. They're having a heck of a time with having their manpower shortages and not having enough people, and these people aren't even being funded because they're being paid, but they're getting paid so little compared to what I think they should be paid. I mean, these are people in charge of our law enforcement out here. And they're trying to recoup that stuff. They're trying to pay for training, getting them some new equipment and service that equipment and the supplies that they need. And the commissioner must have been looking at all those expenses and say, you know what, I'm going to have to start using that law, that 1477. Look how old this law is. Speaker of the House was former Governor Ben Fittiel. And who is the governor? Juan Nakai Babalta. Wow, it is like a trip down memory lane here, looking at this one. Oh, the bat Senator Azuzu. I got you, Erwin. Thank you. I got you now. Oh, that's a slow burn. I'm with you. I got it. That's funny. Dispensa ciclitas. But I got you. I understand where you're going now. That's a good deep cut. New viewers to the show would not be familiar with a lot of that stuff. Anyway, but that's it, and that's the big deal. And so now you've got the schedule for the fees, and then you could see the law that says what it is. Yeah, it says try DPS and polo t-shirts. I mean, like, I'm not an expert in a lot of things. and I'm certainly not going to be an expert when it comes to running the department. So, look, if they're saying that this is what they need to help do it, they came out with it. I would imagine, I do give them a benefit of the doubt because they're open to changing some things, right? I'm sure they're going to change some of these things because they're going to get a tsunami of community feedback on this, right? Something's going to happen. I can't imagine that this stays all the way, or maybe they do. I don't know. But like some of these things, I think what they're going to do, they're going to take that feedback because they know what they're doing. They know that they're serving the community, and they're going to get some of this stuff. But and there's going to be the wink, wink, nod, nod. Hey, send your guys over here. What are you going to charge these guys? I'm sure some of these things probably they'll be away. Good morning, Louisa. Good to see you. Chloe says, Commissioner who? The sexual harassment who walk away like nothing happens? Oh, he's back. And by the way, so we could talk about that too. Because I had a couple of conversations over the weekend. And that coalition for the domestic violence and everything, they reached out to the governor's office about all that stuff. And I like to be fair on this kind of stuff. And maybe fair means I just need another cup of coffee. Because these are some tough times for some of them folks. Oh, 1 second. Just got a message that came in. This one came in on WhatsApp, said, morning, maybe scrap the funeral escort. That really is a traffic issue. Yeah, I hear you. That sounds about right to me. I totally agree with that. I mean, like the funeral escort thing, and like how many officers, when you read what it says in there, when you read what it says in the law, right? Let's stick on that. Let's get back to that, just because I think that's an important one and we're in the heart of it anyway. It's to curb, it says it exactly right there. Here, such activities, the legislature finds the Department of Public Safety currently provides services that are either outside the scope of their duties, not essential, or an abuse of public safety services by the public. I don't think that anybody in our community, I don't think anybody in our community would label funeral escorts as an abuse of public safety services. And you're right, anonymous message sender on WhatsApp. I think that it is traffic. I think that makes sense. I think it's not especially easy, and it does use a lot of resources to do all that stuff. But I'll tell you what, we've got people dying all the time. And we've got funerals happening all the time. And they need to get from place to place, and it does require... I could tell you from my outsider experience, like when I first got here, I'm like, these funeral processions. I'm stuck. They're so long. Come on. But now, like being here as long as I have, and I get it, I'm like, man, it sucks. And that's not an easy time for anyone, and you need that stuff, but you need to have those intersections clear so those people who are going through one of the worst times of their lives by going to say goodbye to one of their loved ones. And you got to make sure that traffic keeps flowing, right? It feels essential to me. And based on that rate schedule, now here's the good thing. The funeral escort, at least it doesn't say like what it said for that shoreline protection or something, $65 per hour per officer. At least it's a flat fee at $200, right? So that's good. At least it's, again, but And they're not charging you the special events thing that they have on there, which is $65 per hour per officer, where it says right there, traffic control, traffic escort, or processions, which there's not a lot of processions, right? Save for funeral processions. So maybe it's just an extra $200 for your funeral. Still not great, but yeah, that does seem kind of core, right? It says limit escort to funeral home and CHC straight to the church. But I mean, they end up going to the cemetery too. That's the other thing. I mean, that's a thing. You need to have that kind of funeral escort. But are they going to lump in all those other things? Because it says traffic control. Because you don't need just a funeral. The funeral escort, I imagine, includes the whole kit and caboodle. Right? That includes all of it. I hope. Because if it doesn't, holy smokes. Oh, no, you're fine. You're fine. So, yeah, that's a... yeah. I mean, that's it. That is 100% it. All right, so, trying to get back to that. I'm with you, though. I would be upset about some of this stuff, too. Like, I don't love it, but they need to get some more money. I think it just, they're the ones implementing it now. And I wonder when they started thinking about doing all this stuff. I have a feeling about it, though. I don't know. I don't think these fees are going to stick around for a long time. It's just a feeling. That's it. Just a feeling. It reminds me of like when those guys come in from CUC and tried to shut down the utilities to the hospital. That didn't last. Neither did that person. I can see this being one of those things. Eric says, does this include state funerals? That's with honors, serving, color guards, and all that, trying to clarify. I would guess that if it did, that would all get billed to the state for a state funeral. Wow, is that on there? What is that? I see this on the screen and I don't know how that's there. Like, literally have no clue. That can't be right. Says, why are all these happening? Depleting government revenues. I'm sure it's because of a revenue issue. There's just not enough money in there. Sublig08. What about power outage and traffic lights? Yeah, no kidding. Well, that's not on there. But if they did, all of a sudden they spring into action. But see, like that, I think goes back to that public law. That would be an essential function to me, that they would be out there directing traffic at the lights. That's my take on it. Anyway, that's what I'm seeing. All right, Kurt Barnes is in the house. Good to see you, Kurt. Hope all is well with you out there in Elk Grove. I know all about Elk Grove because of Kurt. Oh, what's our number? Eldon. That's great. I should maybe just have it on the screen all the time. When I normally have that ticker going, and when I do the share screen, it's on. So I'll have that on there. But it is 670-789-2323. 670-789-2323. So if you want to give us a call and talk about, well, you can talk about anything. Say, hey, Brad, what kind of shampoo do you use? you want to talk about this issue, whatever it is, give us a ring, 670-789-2323. And if you're off island, you don't want to do maybe your service is out. It's okay. You can WhatsApp call too. That's going to work. Yay, PJ. Thanks. Thanks for putting that up there. By the way, if you guys haven't already, I know you're putting in plenty of comments, but if you haven't liked today's show, please do, give a reaction on the show today. All that stuff really helps. It's when we talk to all of our sponsors or prospective sponsors, it shows like the engagement that we got with you, not just views, but that you're actually involved in that, and that really helps. If you haven't followed us already on Facebook, please do. If you haven't subscribed to us already on YouTube, please do, because that really helps us out too. Also, the Instagram, you can check us out there, and that would really help us out if you follow us as well. We also have a TikTok that I got to tell you, it is in its infant stages. So I definitely wanted to get someone in. Hey, and if you're interested in doing some commercials with us, and I'm talking about if you want to be in them, send us a message. I think it'd be fun. You could even be the voice of someone's ad. Could be. I'm shy. Hey, we're just talking about like the voice stuff. Unless you want to be in the actual commercial and have some fun with it. But you could do the voice stuff and it'll be a lot of fun. Maybe, I don't know, am I speaking? No, you're going to be great. I'm telling you, you're going to be great. And it'll be fun. So let me know. But Eldon, if you're going to give a call, 670-789-2323, 670-789-2323. And I will make sure that the ringer's all the way up, too. All the way up. Buenas. Nani Guerrero's watching. Thanks for joining us. And I want to take a real quick break because I know that we're going to end up getting a call while I take that break. But if I do that, all right, that's what we're going to do. We're going to take a real quick break. Well, don't worry. We're not going anywhere. But we are going to take a break. We'll be back with more and your calls right after this.
Shiny smiles all around where happiness is found. It's the little things that make it true. Shiny smiles start with
They're friends and neighbors, sons, fathers. They're little league coaches and veterans. They're people who love this country. These are Immigration and Customs Enforcement officers. They are removing violent criminals from our streets and neighborhoods. It's dangerous and difficult work. But ICE has one mission: to make America a safer place to live. And that's what they're doing. This is law enforcement. This is ICE.
Sports Update.
At the World Baseball Classic, the United States got off to a superb start. They roughed up Brazil.
Judge swings, launches it deep left field, heading towards the wall. It is gone. Aaron Judge, the captain, sets the tone in Houston.
That's Fox Sports on the call as the U.S. beats Brazil 15-5. Aaron Judge, the captain, his home run got things going. Logan Webb threw 4 wonderful innings for Team USA.
This is Ainsley Earhart. Thank you for joining me for the 52-episode podcast series, The Life of Jesus.
A listening experience that will provide hope, comfort, and understanding of the greatest story ever told. Listen and follow now at foxnewspodcasts.com or wherever you listen to podcasts.
From the NBA, the Celtics welcomed back Jason Tatum, his first game in 298 days after tearing his Achilles in the playoffs last year. He scored 15 points in 27 minutes as Boston beat Dallas. All right, college hoops, Miami of Ohio completed the regular season unbeaten. They're also just the third team in D1 history to enter a conference tournament 31-0. Pardon me, the conference tournament will begin this week. Again, Miami of Ohio 31-0 entering conference week. And awful news for North Carolina. Tar Heels freshman standout Caleb Wilson will miss the remainder of the season. Broke his right thumb during practice. He is very likely in the mix for the number 1 pick in June for the NBA draft. But again, he's done for the season. Big football news as the league year in the NFL begins this Wednesday. How about the Raiders and Ravens making a huge trade?
Play clock down to 1. Williams batted up in the air, and it is picked. Crosby. He has been a beast.
The courtesy to CBS Television, Max Crosby traded from Las Vegas to Baltimore, heading back to the Raiders. 2 first-round picks. For more scores, stories, and features, go to foxsports.com. I'm Jay Berman.
Jay, thank you so much. Coming up, the fallout after an 11-year-old boy shoots his mom's boyfriend. That story and more on Fox News Headlines.
Get more on the Fox Sports app and foxsports.com.
Are you or someone you know living with a mental illness? Have you experienced abuse or neglect, denial of services, or discrimination because of a mental illness or disability? You have rights. NM Posse is the Northern Marianas Protection and Advocacy Systems Incorporated, and we're here for you. Individuals diagnosed with mental illness have human, civil, and legal rights under federal and local law. No one should be mistreated, denied services, or discriminated against because of a disability. NM Posse's PIME program provides protection and advocacy for individuals with mental illness and provides information about your rights, advocacy and assistance for eligible individuals, and support in cases involving abuse, neglect, or discrimination. Services are confidential and provided at no cost to eligible individuals. To learn more, call NM Posse today at 670-235-7273 or 7274 or email gborja@nmposse.org.
Ignite the air. Buried cables on the future's there. Through the jungle under waves so deep, where we're waking up from a techless sleep. Educated island, heavy shore. We're not disconnected anymore. High speed dreams, they're coming alive. Through the hills and the oceans dive. Every home, every heart, every scream. We're wired together in the the world's at your
All right, Marianas, welcome back. It is 8:39 in the morning here in Saipan, and what a day. It is definitely not dry out there. And there's not a lot of dry eyes for all those students who wish they were in class today. I'm sure they are enjoying this time off as well. 77 degrees up there at the Saipan International Airport. We've got a traffic, an easy go for traffic, but we got a high surf advisory until March 10th. So that's till tomorrow at 4 p.m. Also got a rip current statement and a flood watch. And hopefully we still have our caller who's been patiently waiting on the phone with us. Eldon, how are you this morning?
Hi, good morning, Brian, CNOI.
It's great to hear you. I hope everything's going great for you. Where are you calling from?
I'm in Utah, and it's still cold.
Well, it's cold here. It's 77 degrees and rainy.
Oh, come on.
I know. But I'm wearing long sleeves. It was cold when I was leaving the house this morning. I had to do it.
Oh, you got summer now.
I know. I get so much guff from my wife. She's like, "Hey, I thought you were from Buffalo." I'm like, "Yeah, that was like 24 years ago. Like, I just visit there now. I have lost my cold weather strength."
Oh.
Hey, so you had some thoughts about the fees and everything for DPS?
Well, I brought that issue earlier about a couple of weeks ago regarding how to make money for the department.
Mm-hmm.
So that schedule of fees was actually made or created, promulgated, and published about 16, 17 years ago due to the manpower shortage in DPS. And that one is outdated. It must be, I believe, reviewed and republished because there's some that does not apply no more.
Oh, that's an old schedule?
Yes, that schedule of fees was like 16 years ago. As you can see, the security for the ship, that was for the black ships when there were a lot of fishermen that were coming within 100 feet of the black ship. So they requested for security, and they had to send officers out 24 hours, 7 days a week.
Wow. So that is pretty old.
Yes, it's old, and majority is because of the manpower issues. Back then, we only had about 110, 120 officers. So to pull officers to do non-essential law enforcement, they have to pre-plan for manpower.
Mm-hmm. Well, that makes sense. Well, what do you think now if they're not using that? If they're not using those kind of escorts for that kind of stuff, for like any of the other stuff? By the way, we've got a pretty big manpower shortage now from what they're saying.
A comment. I'll let Commissioner Marianas determine his manpower needs as of present. But yes, there's some, for example, traffic escorts.
You still there? Oh no. Did we lose you? Eldon, are you still there?
Yes, I'm still here.
Okay, I think we lost you for a second.
Yes, I'm still here.
All right, yeah. So did you get to see the fees?
Yes, I'm still here.
Yeah, we got a little bit of a delay, but did you get to see what those fees were, the whole thing that we had?
I saw it, but I don't have it with me right now.
Okay.
I can explain if you want to go line by line. Yeah.
Hey, let's do it.
On
All
what
right.
their intent was.
So the shoreline security protection of the vessel or ship, that's the one you're talking about with those pre-positioned ships out there, right?
That's correct.
All right. Towing of privately owned boats. Hey, that's like a boat in distress. You guys got to go out there to get them and tow them back, I'm guessing?
Okay, the reason why that one was incorporated as you can see, when Coast Guard goes up and rescue mariners, they'll leave the boat and just bring in the mariners. Unless they are within 3 miles of shore, then yes, they would pull them in. But other than that, pulling is an additional stress on the vessels and fuel. So that's for that one.
That makes sense. Search and rescue operations performed after the first 72 hours.
By law, DPS is required to provide search and rescue for 72 hours. After that, they would consider a search and recovery, not a search and rescue. So search and recovery is after 72 hours. So that depends on the family members.
Wow. All right. So that's extra. I got you. Funeral escort, you got to add $200. Does that cover everything for the funeral escort?
Yes, because for a funeral escort, you're going to have to use traffic. Unless traffic is short on manpower, and that's where the fee comes in order to bring in additional officers that are off, and they will get paid overtime. Overtime is not budgeted by the state and my government. So that would cover the expense for additional officers coming in. So for a funeral escort, I mean, it should be a minimum of 4.
Got you. Wow. Then next one.
Now, funeral escort, I know Eric Muffles asked about state funeral. So any state funeral is free. It's not supposed to be charged.
All right. Great. Then it says service, like process server. I didn't even know that you can get DPS to do that.
They have a SWAT, which is the Summons Warrant Apprehension Group. So they were the ones that were serving summons and warrants. But process service, I'm not sure how Commissioner Marianas is going to include that in DPS operation, since the local court martial, our superior court martial, can do that.
Wow. All right. Then we got special events and or activities requesting officer assistance or presence. So it says including crossing guard services, traffic control, ground security, and traffic escort for processions, $65 per hour per officer.
That one was for, at that time, there were a lot of events that requires police presence, such as concerts. So that was the intent, is for concerts.
Yeah, all those like road crossings for those things and all that. I could get that. So that's another way to help fund the things. It says marine events permit. What is the marine events permit?
Marine events permit is, that was a shadow fee, meaning there were a lot of marine events and DPS boating safety has so little officers available. And that was going to cover the reserve boating safety officers back then. So to bring them in, like for example, the swim from Managaha to Micro Beach, or a relay race, anything that deals with events or ocean events, water events.
Wow. So if your guys are going to be out there with the jet skis, then that's where that thing comes in. But there's a permit. That's not even actually the guys being out there. That's just a permit to have an event.
That permit was supposedly just to notify the boating safety that there's an event ongoing, other than being caught surprised, and then when they only have on-call, which is usually 2 officers. So on a water event, you may need more than 2.
All right. So if they end up doing anything, that would be covered underneath that. So you pay for the permit so that DPS can do the scheduling, just so that if they got to have people on call and ready to go with those things, that you could be all set.
Yes, and that also goes with voting safety. Most of their equipment are federally funded, so they have to be accounted for.
Okay. Now, how about the service calls? Now, it says alarm deactivation and squatters. So the alarm deactivation, does DPS actually deactivate the alarms?
No, back then when they did that schedule of fees, there was a company, and they're still there in Saipan. They usually install alarm systems on businesses, and when it goes off or something activates the alarm, they will call DPS to send officers to check, which it's their alarm system. They're supposed to do their own patrol. And should they find anything, then they call DPS.
Okay, I understand that. Now, how about the squatters, though?
Squatters, the only thing that DPS officers can do is advise them to leave. And that was back then. But at this time, I won't comment with the Supreme Court decision regarding squatters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I can't comment on squatters.
All right. What else do we got? The armory storage fee. That seems like a good deal. That doesn't sound like terrible to me. The armory storage fee, $50 a week. If you're going off island and you don't feel confident in your safe and all that other stuff, you could bring your weapons to DPS and you could store them there, right? That's what that's for?
That fee was for... So when they implemented the new Weapons Control Act, there were a lot of firearms that had to be surrendered. And some people don't want their weapons anymore. So they just turn it into DPS, and then DPS are running out of space. So that was the purpose and intent for that.
Wow. Okay. Then this is the marksmanship class. The basic weapon handling and marksmanship class, ammunition not included. Of course, that's $100 per day. Is it a multi-day thing?
No, that one is for the range usage in Marpi,
mm-hmm.
where DPS would open the range on a Saturday or a scheduled day where you can use the range and bring your own ammunition. So DPS officers would more or less supervise the range operation.
Okay, so that's at DPS range, but by the way, is pretty cool. I like that place up there. I haven't been there in a long time, but at least it was cool all the times I went up there, especially like the Top Gun competitions, barbecues going on, all that. It was awesome.
Yes. Yes.
All right. Then there's just a couple of items that we got left. The escort of a commercial motor vehicle. That's like, I haven't seen a whole lot of that, but when they're doing this construction with these prefabricated hotel that they're building up there in San Roque, I'm guessing that's what some of that is.
Yes. Yes. That's the purpose for that.
All right. So you got the escort of the commercial motor vehicle, one way, by the way, and then the permit cost for a commercial motor vehicle. Oh, so if you've got a commercial vehicle, you got to pay a permit to have it?
No. I'm not sure why they added that on the schedule of fees, but yeah, I don't know why they add that. It's enough with the one-way fee that is charged.
All right. And then they've also got the other one, which is if you break down, if it says out of service commercial motor vehicle, one way, $200. It's any commercial motor vehicle that becomes out of service on a roadway, obstructing traffic or posing a hazard to motorists and pedestrians will be subject to the above fee. Refusal to pay the required fee may result in the vehicle being impounded until all fees are paid, which, by the way, doesn't sound like fun because, you know, there's impound fees, right, per day?
Yes, the purpose for that was because all commercial vehicles must comply with the federal motor carrier regulation, and they're not supposed to even leave their yard should there be any issues with it. Now, if they're parked on the side of the road, provided that they put tree triangles at least 100 feet to the rear, they're still required to call DPS to provide traffic control. So that's where the fee comes in.
All right. Well, that's all of them. And there you go. So when you worked on this originally, how much feedback did you get from people? Did you get some people that complain, or people are like, yeah, that makes sense?
They try to implement it, but there was political decisions made and it was scrapped.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I could see that. I wonder how that's going to work here. What I was saying is I have this feeling. I don't know, but it feels like there's enough people commenting about this that they are not happy about it, that I can't imagine that it sticks around and they're going to have to reel it back because of all the pressure from it.
Yeah, I understand the community's concern. And I understand the department's concern, but I'll leave it up to the leaders to make that decision whether to keep it or not.
All right. Hey, so what are you doing out there in Washington? How's life treating you?
Well, I'm in Utah right now.
Oh, Utah. But you got the Washington number that came in. Sorry. So what are you doing out there in Utah?
Trying to live the American dream.
Are you skiing now? Are you a hockey fan? What's going on? Are you a big Jazz fan now?
No. I try to stay indoors. It's too cold.
It is cold. It is very cold out there. Well, Alden, thanks for taking the time to make the call for us and give us a heads up on like how all that started, like where it came from, and walking us through it. That was so great. We really appreciate it. Eric Moffness also said thanks. He said, thanks. I agree. State funerals should be free because the deceased is being honored from his or her service when he or she was still alive. State funerals are with honors. Yeah. So thanks for answering his question too.
Not a problem. Thank you.
All right. Take care. Thanks for the call. You too. All right. That's Eldon Dela Cruz, who gave us a call. He was one of the folks who helped put all those things together way back when. And he took his time to give us an update on all of that from Utah. How often do we get calls from Utah? Not very often. So when you get it, you got to appreciate it. And I'm really glad about it. All right. Well, we do have another news update that popped in, and it is just about 9 o'clock, so we'll be getting on with our day. And man, hopefully, hopefully this weather opens up for us, but don't expect a whole lot of that because it's going to be wet for a little while. That's what they tell us over there at the National Weather Service. They say, hey, right now at the Saipan International Airport, it's 81 degrees. High surf advisory all the way until tomorrow at 4 p.m. A rip current statement all the way till tomorrow at 4 p.m. A flood watch until today at 4 p.m. We're looking at a high near 80. Well, we're already past that. It's going to be windy, gusts as high as 22 miles per hour, 30% chance of rain throughout the day. We've already got a bunch. It picks up tonight, though, folks. We're looking at scattered showers and thunderstorms, mostly cloudy tonight, and 50% chance of rain tomorrow. Showers and possibly a thunderstorm. It's going to be a lot. It says storms could produce heavy rainfall tomorrow and looking at an 80% chance of rain. You think that sounds like a lock? Well, wait till this. Wednesday, 100% chance of rain. 100%. Go to the Vegas and bet on the rain. That's what they're telling us for Wednesday. Showers, possibly a thunderstorm. So rain, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And so if you like rain, if you're growing plants, even those indoor kinds, the rain's probably a good thing for you. So set your clocks right now. It's March 9th, 10th, and 11th. So in December 9th, 10th, and 11th, let's just see how many more babies we're going to have out here in Saipan. Demian Tele says, hey, why a flood watch? With all that rain that they've got forecast for today, tomorrow, and Wednesday. I'm guessing that's why they got the flood watch. But we can read the full statement, though, for them about the flood watch. They send them out to us, and oftentimes they make the adjustments as they're going. It says flash flooding is caused by excessive rainfall, and it continues to be possible in Guam, Rota, Saipan, and Tinian through Monday afternoon. The impacts or the excessive runoff may result in flooding of rivers, creeks, streams, and other low-lying flood-prone locations. Flooding may occur in poor drainage urban areas. Additional details, well, here they are. A broad disorganized, here, let's give it the news voice. A broad disorganized tropical disturbance is interacting with a shear line and will continue to impact the Marianas through Monday afternoon. Showers with locally heavy rainfall remain possible during this time frame. Additional 4 to 6 inches of rain is possible across the Marianas, with locally higher amounts possible as this system evolves. There you go. That's the best answer I got for you on that one. I hope that helps. Thanks, Caleb. Thanks for joining us today. And hopefully the weather is good this weekend. There was a lot of canceled sports activities that happened over the weekend, a lot of catch up happening as well. So that's just what we got. Marianas, I love you. This is great stuff. If you haven't already done it, please like the page, follow the page here. If you haven't checked out our website, please do that. NMINewsService.com. That's where you're going to get all those stories that we covered today and more. I've got more stuff to pop up on there. We got some stuff that came in this morning as well. And, there's a lot of stuff happening. And, all that stuff that's happening with DPS right now. Again, we had that conversation with somebody over the weekend who reached out and said, hey, can you talk more about it and do more about it? So what we've asked them to do was if we could speak with some of these folks who are bringing some of these accusations and everything, that we guarantee complete anonymity. I'll go to my grave with the names and everything. If you trust me, then you can do it. I would never risk that trust. And if you want to go somewhere else, it doesn't have to be here. It could be anywhere. You name it. We can meet and talk about all that stuff, and I won't use your names and all that stuff, but I got to take some notes so I know what we're talking about, because getting that secondhand stuff, I can't say, well, so-and-so said that they heard from so-and-so that this is what's happening. And then I can hear that, but I can't take that as fact and say this happened, but I can say, what I can't say is like, somebody told me this happened to them, and that's how I can report that, right? So in the meantime, that's what it's at. And the person we were talking about, they're like, yeah, that's right. That's be like hearsay, right? I'm like, yeah, it's like hearsay. But, especially if it's, something really serious. And, people who are affected by this and who are feeling all this stuff, like, I can't just, anybody's a human. People react to different things in different ways. And we just got to be fair with the whole thing. Not defending anybody, but it's just, there's different ways of presenting it. And that's the best way for us to do that. I can't automatically say that somebody is right and somebody's wrong. Look at how many of these stories where this stuff comes out. People get all emotionally involved in it right away, take one person's side, and then it comes out later. That's not exactly how it worked. So you got to take it balanced. And I'm not just willing, I'm happy to help you tell your story. Even if you don't want your name there, but I got to get it from you. I can't get it from somebody who knows you, who you told and all that other. You know how that stuff works. It's like the game of telephone. So we're there. Oh, was that call today? No, okay. All right. Well, folks, it's 9:05. I do have a new news update that I can get your way. Let me just refresh it here. Today's one of those days where the AP isn't there. It's not APing. So I've got a sports update that you guys didn't get to hear great before, but here's the last news update, and we'll call it a show for today. I want to say thank you again for being with us. Thanks for liking the page. Thanks for your comments. And like the show, each show that's on. You know, when you put in an emoji of some sort or some sort of a reaction, it helps. If you haven't subscribed to us on YouTube, please go over there. Go to our YouTube channel and subscribe to it. You can watch us there too. And tell people who are like, I can't watch it. I don't have social media. You can still watch the show. You can watch it over there in our website, nminewsservice.com. Whenever we go live, we're live on the website too. It happens all the time. And PJ said, be careful, Brad. Everyone's going to confide in you. Hey, that's cool. But I'll tell you, that just means people trust me, and that's great. And that's where that first call that came in over the weekend about this one in particular happened. And that's it. All right, guys, here's your news update. We'll do that and a little bit of sports, and then we're going to get out of here. Have a great day, Marianas. Keep looking. We're going to be posting all kinds of stuff throughout the day.
This is a Fox News alert. I'm Daria Albinger. Deaths in Operation Epic Fury are rising. CENTCOM confirming a 7th casualty in an attack on U.S. forces.
CENTCOM said the soldier passed away Saturday night. The soldier, who was not immediately identified, died of wounds suffered when Iranian forces attacked service members stationed in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. The identity will not be released until a day following the soldier's next of kin being notified. On Saturday, 6 other soldiers who were killed by an Iranian drone strike in Kuwait a week ago were received at Dover Air Force Base in Delaware as part of the dignified transfer of their remains, as the President, First Lady, and Vice President attended, along with military leaders. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
Meanwhile, Operation Epic Fury has entered a second week. Fox's Trey Yingst in Tel Aviv.
Significant Israeli strikes overnight targeting Iran's oil infrastructure on the outskirts of the city. 4 separate oil storage facilities were hit in these strikes. Israel's prime minister says these types of attacks will continue as the Iranians are still striking regional countries and Israel. The Iranians are still launching new attacks against Israel. They have fired a number of ballistic missiles toward the country today. One of those missiles had a cluster munition on top. It broke apart in the skies above this city and rained down below. There were more than a dozen different impact locations, according to Israeli police, and a number of people were wounded by shrapnel.
The U.S. is also continuing to strike Iran. President Trump dismissing the importance of reports that Russia helped Iran target the U.S. military. Kansas City International Airport was evacuated earlier today over reports of what officials will only say was a potential threat. They say thousands had to leave, but since then, the all clear has been given. America's listening to Fox News.
This is Ainsley Earhart. Thank you for joining me for the 52-episode podcast series, The Life of Jesus.
A listening experience that will provide hope, comfort, and understanding of the greatest story ever told. Listen and follow now at foxnewspodcasts.com or wherever you listen to podcasts.
At least 8 people are dead, 4 of them in Michigan, after tornadoes tore across parts of the country. Fox Weather's Haley Meyer in Union City, Michigan.
This was the earliest an EF3 has ever been reported in the state, earliest in terms of calendar year, with a tornado hitting on March 6th. Residents captured plenty of video of this tornado as it happened in the peak of the afternoon, just tearing up entire neighborhoods as it went through, sending debris flying thousands of feet into the air. Now, at this point, they know where everybody is, but the unfortunate part of the story is we're just now getting into the heart of severe weather season, and this same area is under a level 1 out of 5 threat for severe storms on Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday evening.
Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer has declared a state of emergency. Tornadoes also killed people in Oklahoma. The NYPD says an incendiary device deployed at a protest yesterday outside Gracie Mansion, that's the official mayor's residence in New York City, was not fake, nor was it a smoke bomb. It says the device was real and that it could have caused serious injuries or death. A self-described white supremacist, Jake Lang, organized the protest, which Mayor Zohran Mamdani said was rooted in bigotry and in racism. Mamdani going on to say that violence at a protest is never the answer. It's never acceptable, he says. Well, it's now been 6 weeks since Nancy Guthrie disappeared from her home in Tucson, Arizona. Authorities are now asking neighbors about home cameras that may not have been running when Guthrie was taken from her home on February the 1st. Guthrie is the mother of Today's Show host Savannah Guthrie. There are no real clues as to just where she might be right now. As for Guthrie, she says she will return to the Today Show at some point when she feels the time is right. I'm Daria Alvinger. This is Fox News.
If you see something, say something. And stay anonymous. Call Crime Stoppers at 234-7272 or submit a tip online at nmicrimestoppers.com. No names, no caller ID, no recordings, just your info. And if your tip leads to an arrest, you could earn up to $1,000 in cash. Your tips have helped take hundreds of criminals off the streets in the NMI. It works because of you. Crime Stoppers, we want your information, not your name. PHI is your local pharmacy serving customers in Cagman, Garapan, and Dandan since 1996. Shop PHI Pharmacy for all your prescriptions, and we even offer a large line of multivitamin supplements. Our Dandan location is open weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 4 on weekends. Or visit our Garapan and Cagman locations weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 1 on Saturdays. Check us out online at phipharmacy.com or follow us on Facebook. PHI is a locally owned independent community Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.